It started with the fence. The Johnsons woke up on a Tuesday morning in late April and couldn't see their backyard anymore. Not because of fog, not because of rain, because something was growing there. The night before, the yard had been bare. Patchy grass, a small maple tree, a rusted swing set their son had outgrown. By sunrise, it was gone. In its place stood trees, tall, dense, old. Not saplings, not freshly planted, full-grown trunks with thick bark and branches woven together so tightly they blocked out the morning light. Mrs. Johnson thought she was still dreaming. She blinked, rubbed her eyes, looked again. The garden remained, deep green, silent, breathing. There were no tire tracks, no soil disturbed, no broken fence panels. The wooden fence still circled the yard, untouched, and yet, on the other side of it, an entire grove had appeared. Neighbors noticed too. They leaned over their own fences and stared. "Did you hire landscapers?" someone asked. "No," Mr. Johnson said slowly, "we didn't." The trees weren't native. Their leaves were wide and dark, with veins that seemed almost etched into the surface. The bark wasn't rough like oak or smooth like birch. It looked layered, like overlapping skin. The first person to step into the garden was their son, Eli, 10 years old, curious. He pushed open the back door before anyone could stop him. The air inside the yard felt different, cooler, thicker, quieter, as if sound had to push its way through. He reached out and touched a leaf and froze. For a second, he wasn't in his backyard. He was standing in a hospital hallway, fluorescent lights buzzing overhead, the smell of antiseptic, a woman crying softly behind a closed door. He didn't recognize the place, he didn't recognize the feeling in his chest, but it hurt. Then it was gone. He stumbled back, breathing hard. "What did you see?" his mother asked. "I don't know," he said. "It wasn't mine." Word spread quickly. By noon, people from 3 streets over were walking past the Johnson house, trying to peer through gaps in the fence. Some swore they saw movement between the trunks. Others claimed the trees weren't the same shape twice. Mr. Johnson called the city. The city sent someone out. The inspector walked through the gate with a clipboard and a skeptical expression. He didn't come back out for almost 20 minutes. When he did, his face looked pale. "What did you see?" Mrs. Johnson asked. He hesitated. "Nothing," he said, but his hands were shaking. By the second night, the garden had grown again. The trees were closer to the house, branches brushing against the siding, roots pushing up through the lawn, cracking the concrete path to the back door. The air inside the yard felt heavier. People described it as stepping underwater, movements slower, thoughts louder. Mrs. Johnson tried to cut one of the branches. The saw blade caught in the bark, not because it was too hard, because it was too soft. The wood beneath felt layered and fibrous, like muscle. The cut bled clear sap, thick, warm. She dropped the saw. That night she dreamed of a place she'd never been, a house on a cliff, wind tearing at the roof, a child running toward the edge. She woke up with tears on her face. The next morning, a new tree stood in the corner of the yard, its leaves the exact shade of the house from her dream. The garden began to hum, not loudly, not constantly, just beneath perception. A vibration felt more than heard. When people stood inside it long enough, they began to sway slightly, as if matching its rhythm. The Johnsons stopped letting anyone in. They They boarded up the back door, closed the curtains, but the branches pressed against the windows anyway, leaves flattening against the glass as if trying to see inside. On the fourth night, Eli disappeared. His bed was empty, the back door still boarded, no broken locks, no footprints in the soil. Just one thing, a new sapling in the center of the garden, thin, delicate, its leaves small and pale. Mrs. Johnson ran into the yard without thinking. She touched the sapling and felt him, not his body, not his voice, but his memory, standing somewhere dark, somewhere dense, surrounded by trees that stretched endlessly in every direction. Other people there too, touching trunks, sharing fragments, layering experiences. The garden wasn't random, it was collecting. Every memory anyone had ever touched inside it stayed, stacked, rooted, growing. The authorities fenced off the property, declared it unsafe, an environmental anomaly. They cut down what they could, burned what they felled, but by morning the trees had returned, taller, closer, denser. By the end of the week, the entire block was green, houses swallowed, streets cracked by roots, power lines tangled in branches. The city called it a natural overgrowth event, told people to evacuate. From above, the area looked like a forest that had always been there. No sign of roads, no sign of fences, no sign of swing sets or mailboxes, just a vast, uninterrupted canopy. People who drove past at night say the trees sometimes shift, not from wind, from inside, like something walking between them. And if you brush your hand against a leaf, just lightly, you might feel it, a memory that isn't yours, a life you never lived, a place that never existed, until it did. And now it's growing.